Question: have you ever felt like you had so many ideas that you wanted to do, so many things that you want to accomplish, however, you didn't know where to start? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast will be specifically for you. It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., and I have so many ideas and so many things that I have done, so many things that I look to do, so many things that I will do. However, it's all about the start, right? And so, this, even as well, is a start amongst starts, right? I've started this podcast on and off in so many different ways. It had so many different titles because I had so many different ideas that I wanted to do. However, now it's the time to lay out the master plan of how to make all things in our minds able to be accomplished, okay? And so, first things first, talk the talk, right? Outside of all the other things, outside of all the other thoughts and things you might have listened to, other videos you might have watched, other podcasts you might have listened to, it's time to walk the walk. Now, what does that mean, Ricky, for you? Well, me, I believe that it was for my family and I to move to Johannesburg, South Africa, all the way from the US. And guess what? We are living right now in Johannesburg, South Africa. Here you are, if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing our apartment from the family room and the kitchen in the back. And that's where we are, right? We made the move within like a little bit over a year from me believing that we were supposed to make the move to going through the process of making the move, but then actually physically moving, right? And I say that to say, like, you allow your actions to be what follows the thoughts that you have, the desires that you have, so that you can see the outcomes that you want to see. Never ever before me living here and me believing that we should move here did I ever think I would be living here and actually walking about these Joburg streets, but I actually am. And I want that for you too, right? You may be thinking, I want to start a business, or I want to start a podcast, or I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to be an influencer. You list it, you name it, you say, and you know whatever it is that you want to start doing, that you've been talking about doing. However, it just hasn't happened, right? And one of the main things that I want to say in this particular podcast is the power of starting. Start where you are, start with what you have, start with what you know, and allow yourself to grow through that process. That's what I'm going to be doing right before you all on this particular podcast channel and on the podcast in general. I'm going to just grow. I'm going to grow with you all. You're going to see the steps. I'm going to take you through the processes. I'm going to take you through the mental thoughts that I've had along the way and just watch how this podcast journey grows, because I have, like I said, I have ideas, right? I have ideas and I have things that I want to do and things that I want to accomplish and people that I want to bring along the way. And all at the end of the day, all of this is to help you to get unstuck, right? And so making action, starting where you are, is necessary, because if you don't start, you won't be able to see how far you can actually grow, what you can actually do, and take the necessary steps to learn along the way. I've been doing this podcast journey now probably about a year and a half, 2 years, right? And I can say now, after all of those episodes, I'm gonna have to go back and like count how many episodes I've actually done. However, after all of those, I now feel like, okay, I'm a beginner podcaster. Like, I'm a beginner in a sense of I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, where I want to go, and how we'll be able to stretch people, grow people, and even imagine the things that I have imagined. You may be thinking, Ricky, what are you talking about? Imagine. Well, at the end of the day, my desire is to be able to help, aid, and empower 2,000 people a month. Yeah, I said it. 2,000 people a month. That's not a lot of people. At the end of the day, it's billions of people on this planet. And if I can empower, equip, encourage, and ignite 2,000 people a month, I will be able to sit back at the end of the day and say, man, today was a good day. Man, I feel like my life is purposeful, it's rewarding, it's beneficial, and it's living out to its full potential. And you have your thoughts, right? Maybe it's art. Maybe it's, like I said, YouTubing. Maybe you have a certain subscriber count that you want to achieve, or financial amount that you want to achieve. Whatever it is, get that thought and start saying it out loud, right? This wasn't my first time saying I wanted 2,000 people that I'm helping a month. I've said it before, I'm saying it now, and I'm putting it before us all. But it's that too is a part of the steps of achieving the things that you want to do, helping yourself get to the point of being unstuck, right? Because I've talked to a lot of people, and I'm telling you, I talk to a lot of people. If you know me, you already know I love talking to people, and I just ask them, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? What are you doing? And like, if there's a difference. And if there's a difference between what people are doing and what they want to do, I'm always questioning why. Like, what's that gap? Why is there a gap between the two? And I'll hear all kind of answers from, well, I don't have the camera, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the time, I don't have the ideas to do various things, right? And truth be told, it's weird because I come across a lot of people that want to start YouTube channels or want to start a podcast or want to be an influencer, right? Those are like the main people that I meet. And so I'm always saying, like, don't you have a phone? Yeah, I have a phone. Well, you have a camera and you have audio capabilities. Start recording, right? Start recording your podcast, start recording your videos. And then from there is, you hear various excuses or things like that. But at the end of the day, what am I saying? Start, right? Do I desire to stay in this space doing podcasts each and every opportunity that I do podcasts? No, I don't. I want to grow. Truth be told, I'm working on something right now. However, I'm learning that being out here in Johannesburg, things are a little bit different. Things don't move as fast as I want them to move, but it's okay. It's teaching me patience. It's teaching me to just, do what you need to do to get to where you need to go, but then also don't have any excuses along the way. I could have waited to be in the space that that I desired to be in, that I will be in before I started the podcast. But I said to myself, no, I can't. I can't be the one that helps people to get unstuck, to start doing what they desire to do, start living a best life, and start living a purposeful life if I'm not setting the right example by starting. Because that's the main thing. If I could say anything in this particular podcast, it's to start. Start where you are. Start with what you have, and start recording. Right? Start just even getting in the rhythm of recording. If podcasting is what you want to do, YouTubing is what you want to do, creating artwork, start writing a book, just start. All right, start with the first step, which is beginning. Right, beginning is usually the hardest part. There's so many, truth be told, and can I be honest with y'all? I believe I can. I think this is going to be a space where I could be honest. I could be transparent. We're going to have fun. We're going to do interviews. We're going to do all the things. However, in this Genesis video, in this Genesis episode of what's to come, like, there were so many oppositions that came along the way from this video starting. One of them, right? I was recording. I've done podcasts in this building before, in this apartment before. I was doing like my Bible readings that I was posting on my wife's YouTube channel, and I was doing it in my son's room. However, my daughter just got sick, and so she's been sleeping in her room, and my son's been sleeping in his room, and his room looks like somebody slept in it, so I couldn't even use that space. However, there was a leak in our bathroom that's just like right here. If you look it on YouTube, you can see where my hand is. There was a leak over there, and so I had to call the maintenance people. They were in here until really I just told them, like, hey, I needed this space. I need y'all to be out by 3 o'clock. Do what all you can do until then. And so they still have more work to do, right? So boom, I'm now in this space. I wanted to have it where my backdrop is the beautiful landscape, because I have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view, right, in this apartment. However, the lighting wasn't working, so I had to like readjust, and now y'all get to see this boring kitchen background. So it was like step upon step, pile upon oppositions that really were coming my way to distract me and stop me from doing this particular episode. But I had to push through. I had to persevere. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. I wanted to even have this episode out earlier than what it actually is going out. But I didn't allow, just like I don't want you to allow any limitations, any hindrances, any hiccups, any frustrations to stop or block you from doing what you're doing. And, we going to get there. We going to get there. And even too, on this particular podcast, right, we're going to have some awesome people. And like I said, we live in Johannesburg, South Africa. And we also going to have people on this channel, on these podcasts, that will talk about why they even making a move. I've met quite a few Americans that have even made the move to Johannesburg, and we're going to talk about why. Why did you make the move? What do you see here that you didn't see there? What opportunities are you exploring while here that maybe other South Africans Africans haven't even thought of, right? Because that happens daily from me talking to people. But then I'm also going to interview some South Africans, right? What are things that you're doing? What areas are you looking to expand in, grow in, and allow for your name to be known for on this here particular continent, right, of Africa, but then in the specific country of South Africa? And then there's a whole beep, right? Y'all heard that nonsense beep, this nuisance beep. I don't even know what the beeping is. But again, another hindrance, another hiccup. Well, we're gonna keep going, but it's real, y'all. That wasn't even staged, but it's real of how things happen that will try to stop you from you doing what you're doing. But you just got to keep going, bro, keep going, sis, and we're gonna make it happen, right? We're gonna see all that we supposed to see while we live in this life, right? One of my sayings that I want to just make sure everybody just has on the inside of them is that there's more to my story, sister. Brother, there's more to your story. There's more to your story. Where you are now is not where you will end up or where you will be for the rest of your life. There's more to your story. But the message of today is starting. The power of starting, the power of doing, the power of overcoming. And as we start, right, because we're doing this thing together now. We are a family. We're going to hold each other accountable. It's the 1st of November when I'm filming this and even airing this. And even as the end of the year comes like to an end, right? This is the year or time in the year that I started to turn up. I started to turn up thinking about what next year is going to be like. I start preparing me as an individual to be the person that I want to be in the next year. And so even this month, I'm not going to watch any movies, right? I'm going to start reading more. I'm going to pick up a book. I'm going to try to read a book a week, right? A book a week. I had to pause because I thought it, but I didn't want to say it however we hear it, so I'm saying it. But a book a week. But these are different things that I'm doing that I'm even encouraging you to do to make a shift, right? Start making a shift in who you are as an individual. Start looking at who you are now, assessing who you want to be next year, and start making the adjustments to that person so that when that year comes, 2024, you're who you need to be. You're walking in the areas that you need to walk in, walking through the doors that you're supposed to be walking in, going to the places that you're supposed to be going to, and being the person that you need to be in those spaces, places, and with those opportunities, right? For me, I know I need to start reading more. Why? Because it allows for me to concentrate. It allows for my vocabulary to grow. It allows for my perspective to be shifted, my horizons to be expanded, my thoughts to be enriched. Reading is so fundamental. And so even too, if you need to do that, let me know, right? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know. You can message me if you're listening to this on a podcast. Message me, find me, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I started thinking about what show is that? I don't know. Kim Possible. That was Kim Possible. See, man, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But anyway, reach me, call me, hit me up, let me know, and I'll be your accountability partner. I put it on my TikTok. Like, I'm about to start a challenge in November, and the challenge is be who you need to be now so that you can be where you need to be in 2024, right? Do what you need to do. I'm going to work out again, right? I done fell off. Truth be told, we done moved down here. I start eating good. I start eating a lot, and I haven't been working out, and that's starting to catch up. I don't want that, right? And so I'm gonna start working out more. I'm gonna start reading more. I'm not gonna be entertaining myself with mindless movies that is not taking me or preparing me to go anywhere. But I'm gonna read books that are enriching, encouraging, edifying, and I encourage you, find those things that you need to do. Do those things that will make you the better person, put you in a position where you want to be to do and to accomplish the things that you want to do. And so I'm even like talking through the various thought processes that I've had, but then also with those things, also letting you know of things to come, right? And so I'm excited because there's various segments that I do want to do that we will have on this here channel and on this podcast, and I'm ready to explore it all, right? In the grand scheme of like me want to do so many things, that's why this podcast has gone through many names, right? For those that's been rocking with your boy, I don't even know how you have been, but thank you. Outside of my mom. However, it was first called the Pursuit of Destiny podcast. Then it was changed to the Ricky Jones Jr. podcast. Then it was changed to Conversations with Christians. Then it was Unapologetically Christian. And then I just went on just say, welcome to the podcast. But at the end of the day, Something bigger is brewing. Something bigger is brewing. Something bigger is brewing. Again, there's always more to the story. And so, what does that mean? Right now, we have segments, right? We have segments because ultimately we have a network. I was thinking too small, right? In praying and talking and hearing and receiving, I was thinking too small. I was only thinking about myself. However, living life, it's more than just you. It's more than you that you are here for. It's more than you that will accomplish and receive the things that are necessary, right? My fingerprint will find themselves on other people's destiny, on other people's purpose, on other people's trajectory. And I'm excited that even this network of podcasts will be available for others, right? And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But at the end of the day, this channel will be a network of networks. A network of networks. It'll mean what it means when the time comes. However, I'm just letting it all right now, right? I'm putting it all before you so that you know and that we know where we going. And even one of the people groups, right, that I want to reach out to and address and make sure they're heard are preachers' kids. Why? Because I am a preacher kid. I've lived the life of being a preacher kid for all the life that I can remember, right? I was knee high to a tree high, as some would say, or knee high to a grasshopper. I was probably about 3 years old when my daddy started preaching, and that's all I knew. I've lived that life. I still live that life. And, we are a people group that have stigmas, that have cliches said about us. But at the end of the day, we're people, right? We're people with emotions, thoughts, feelings. And I just want to reach out to them to let them know that there's a people group for you. There's a people community that loves you. I'm sure I'm not the first one that's reaching out to them, talking to them, speaking on things that concerns them, but I want to be amongst those, right? And I just believe that there's a day where children of pastors, children of preachers will continue the legacy, right? Continue in what our mothers or our fathers have started in our own specific and unique way. There's so much, right? There's so much in that those conversations will unpack. But then I also talk to some preachers' kids that have gone away from the church because I've come in contact with them as well. We'll talk about why. We'll talk about those things, and also with that, be able to help preachers' kids that may find themselves in those feelings and those emotions in those places right now, but then also to help the parents understand their kids from another person's perspective, because we can also learn from other people, right? I could say for myself, like, I love documentaries, right? Because it gives me the opportunity to find out how somebody started doing what they're doing, how they ended up being where they are, and the thought process in them as they prepare for the future, which allows for me to either take some things or to realize I don't need some things, right? But in it all, with it all, great people, I'm excited. I'm really excited to get this thing started, and I can't be as like excited and loud as I want to be because, like I said, my daughter is here. She's resting. She's sleeping. She's getting better, and so I don't want to interfere with that. However, I had to get this out. I had to get this out. If I'm here to tell you to start, right, with all the different ideas that you may have just to start, why wouldn't I start in the midst of all the things that one would say are going wrong, amongst all the things that could truly be a deterrent to me beginning? I'm like, no, I have to press through. Why? Because one, I told myself November 1st, I'm going to get this thing started. But then I told other people November 1st, I'm going to get this thing started. And for me, I know I'm a man of my word, right? I love for what I say to be what I do. Because if you don't have your word, what do you have, right? At the end of the day. And so here I am. Here we are. This is what we doing. This is where we are, and I'm excited for the journey that we will take. And so let everybody know to come to this here particular channel, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. It's not under the name Ricky Jones Jr. It's under the name Pursuit of Destiny Productions, right? It's a reason for that network. But even from there, on your favorite podcast platform, you will see me, Ricky Jones Jr. Podcast. Go ahead and follow and connect. Now let's go, right? We're going to hit them 2,000 people a month, and we're going to ride. We're going to all be better. We're going to all get unstuck. We're going to all be empowered. We're going to be encouraged, and we're going to be ignited, okay? The 3 E's: empowered, encourage, and ignited. Does ignite start with an I or E? I don't know. It felt good to say 3 E's. You know what I'm saying? I told you I had that church background, so we like to rhyme and bring things together. But at the end of the day, with it all said, great people, I love you. I'm excited, right? I love the person that you are today, but more so than anything, I love the person that you know that you are inspiring to be, want to be, and therefore will be. And know that there's always more to your story. There's always more to your story, and we're going to get that more. We're going to receive that more. You're going to be encouraged, empowered by my story and other stories as you go out to do and to be all that you were born to be, accomplish, and do. And so, with that said, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for rocking with your boy thus far. And no, we did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. The start has started. Now let's see how far we can go. Until then, peace.